Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Jay's Complete Auto Detailing. In today's episode, we're going to cover the topic of should you be getting your brand new vehicle detailed? It's a pretty common question that I get from my customers who are just picking up a new car from the dealership. They're bringing it home and they're asking, is there already some protection on the paint? Did the dealership do anything, any prep work before I picked it up? Or should I be bringing it into you to get a ceramic coating, a paint sealant, a wax? What should I be doing? So before we do get started on that topic, be sure to take a second and click on that subscribe button down below. Like this video. That way you're keeping tabs on all the new content that we come out with in the future. So to answer the question of should you be getting your vehicle detailed after you pick it up from the dealership, and my answer is 100% yes. Now, when you do purchase a brand new vehicle from a dealership and you schedule your day to go pick it up, they are going to wash it for you and give it some prep, because obviously you want to be picking up a car that's clean. Just the fact of the matter is dealerships are not going to use the best practices and the best methods to clean your vehicle or prep your vehicle for it to go out the door to you. So that's where a lot of your marring in the paint, just from improper washing, is going to happen. And you may or may not notice those things, but as a detailer, when those vehicles do come in, I notice them right away. As far as any form of protection that's on your vehicle from the dealership, they do have different packages that you might be able to get a detail at the dealership itself. But really, there's not going to be anything on the paint when you pick it up and bring it home. So when I do have customers ask, I say 100% you need to bring it in and get some sort of protection on your paint, whether it's a wax, a sealant, or a ceramic coating like we're going to be doing to the truck behind me today. So behind me is a 2022 GMC Sierra Denali. It was just purchased recently by one of my very good customers, and he brought it in to get a 2-year Jade Ice ceramic coating. So I washed it, it's dried. The next step is to go around and check to see if there are any blemishes in the paint, and kind of get an idea of what I'm going to need to do to get this paint as perfect as possible. So after fully cleaning the truck and going around and giving it a thorough inspection of the paint, there are a lot of areas that are going to need some attention. You can see on the doors here, there are some scratches just from getting in and out. Whether it was at the dealership, people going to look at the car, we don't really know the full history of the car or the truck as it sat. But there are some general areas, it's kind of tough for the camera to pick up on, that are going to need some attention. So coming over to the passenger side, there's a very light scratch that is in the paint right here. The light can barely pick it up. And then again on this side, just on the door itself, just from getting in and out, you can see there. So, I mean, this could be from people taking the truck for a test drive. So one thing you might be asking yourself is, well, where did all these scratches and blemishes come from in the first place? And that's a really good question. I mean, you're expecting a brand new vehicle, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. Well, if you think about the vehicle coming off of the assembly line, it's getting shipped to whatever dealership you are purchasing your vehicle from. So it might be loaded up onto a transporter, it might be loaded up onto a train. If you're buying a vehicle from overseas, it's being shipped across the ocean. So there are a lot of factors that come into play when your vehicle is being shipped. And then the other thing is, when it does finally arrive to the dealership, it may be sitting in the lot for an extended period of time. And like I mentioned, there's not much protection on the vehicle's paint, so it's being beaten down by the sun, rain. You could have acid rain. You could have watermarks that etch into the paint itself. So a number of those factors as well. The third thing is when the vehicle is washed at a dealership itself. Some dealerships have a tunnel wash. So if you're taking it in for even any maintenance that needs to be done, an oil change, a lot of times they like to wash the vehicle before they give it back to you, along with when you are first purchasing the vehicle. So we know that those car washes aren't the best for a paint. I'm sure you've heard of that before. So when I do have customers contact me and say they want to set up a detailing appointment for their brand new vehicle, and they say, it's probably not going to need much in terms of prep work before you put the sealant on or the coating, my answer to them is it's probably going to need, at the bare minimum, a polish. And there are going to, I do let them know that there are probably going to be some spots, some marring that's on the paint, some small surface scratches just from the whole shipping process and going through the dealership and the wash that they prepped when they prepped the car for that customer to come and pick it up. So, I tell them that as we talk on the phone, or if they're messaging me on our page. And then when they do bring it in, I kind of do a quick inspection with them to just go over some things that I noticed that they might have overlooked. They're really excited, they just picked up their new car. They're not thinking in their head that there may or may not be some damages or scratches or scuffs that have happened to the car as it was moving from one place to another before it got to the dealership. All right, so we're gonna get started on this truck behind me. We're gonna get the paint polished, any blemishes corrected. All right, so we just did a test spot on the door, on the driver's side, the rear door, and the blemishes and small little scratches and stuff are polishing out pretty easy. So we're gonna go ahead around the entire truck with 3D1. Those heavier spots where the scratches were, the Lake Country Blue pad, the HDO pad is gonna take those out, and then we'll just come back with a polishing pad and go around the rest of the truck, since it really doesn't need that much attention everywhere. All right, so we got all of the paint work on the truck polished out and prepped. All those small scratches that were around the door handles have been removed, and even some of the smaller marks that were on the front bumper have been addressed and completely fixed. So the next step is to add some protection. This customer is opting for our 2-year Jade Ice ceramic coating. Others might opt for a sealant or a wax to put on here to protect what we just fixed. Now that you've taken your vehicle to a skilled detail shop, they went over the whole thing, polished it out, got it as perfect as possible, you'll want to check out one of my other videos that describes the proper way of maintaining and washing your vehicle when you do get it home freshly detailed. Now, if you're worried about the dealership causing any harm to your vehicle before you do pick it up, you can just simply call them, or when you're making the purchase, let them know, hey, listen, I don't really need you guys to prep the car. I don't need you to put any kind of wax or a sealant or any dressings on the plastics or even on the inside of the car. Just tell them you just simply want it to be clean when you show up, and that way you can give it a thorough inspection. Go over all the panels, bring a flashlight if you need to, or the flashlight on your phone, and just kind of go around the car and make sure that there aren't any scratches or any marks or marring in the paint before you do take it home. All right, so hopefully this video gave you some insight into what you should be doing after you bring your vehicle home. If you like what you saw here today in the video and you were interested in our content, be sure to smash that subscribe button down below. That way you're notified every time we upload a new video in the future. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.